What up, my little boogers and boogerettes? Well, I do have some boogers in there. A little bit. Booger's been working on all this, cutting up all this wood. He had some trees taken down. And problem is, gas is expensive because of all the stuff. The Israelis and the Iranis and all the rich pricks want to fight over something, I guess, or protect them from nuking somebody or some shit. But in the booger household, we got to worry about wood right now because we got wood. But the problem is, back to the gas expense. I've been noticing this old Sthil 39 has been, when I fill it up, leaning on its side here, it's been leaking gas. Sometimes it leaks gas, but it really leaks gas when you start giving her. Let's see if we can. You shut up over there. Shut it. Good dog. Good dog. No? Okay. He don't listen very well. Well, we're gonna see here. Stay there a second. Let's see how bad this pig leaks. If I can get it started. Don't want to start very good this morning either. No, it ain't safe, but that's a lot of gas right there. That's like 2 cuts coming out of there. So what Booger's gonna do is we're gonna pull it apart today and find out why it's leaking. I looked up online. There could be a couple possibilities. There's a vent in there. It's supposed to be a vent. The fuel line goes through the plastic tank. It could be the problem. Could be the plastic tank itself. But we're going to take her into the booger garage and take her apart and see what's going on in there. We'll get more cuts per gallon if we're not leaking fuel all over the place. Okay? Off into the booger garage we go. So the initial inspection here, filled her up with gas, topped her off. And I could see fuel leaking right from this corner here. Oops, easy on there. When it was super full, it was leaking. Let's see if I can get it to. Of course, it's not going to replicate it. It's leaking there a little bit. I'll pull the cover off here. Get a little better angles here. Pull your cover off. Air filter. We're going to give this a blow job while we're in here before we rip a bunch of stuff apart. And a little hot tip, I didn't know this. I haven't been in this saw much. It was gifted to me and I've just been using it whenever I need it. I learned today after watching some other videos on them that it's got the screen the one way, no screen the other way. I guess in cold weather you run it like this. The screen or the blocks the air coming into the cylinder head here, or blocks it coming out. I don't know which way it is. Probably to keep her warmer, and then in hot weather you want to have the summertime, you want to have that the the screen down in here. I just found that out today. But a quick inspection here and looking around, I've never had this apart. It was gifted to me. But right here on the top of the tank there's a little, come on, get in there. Right here where my finger is. It's hard to do this bass backwards. Apparently there's supposed to be a little vent on there. And all the little vent is this hose. What the Christ is going on out there? This hose, and then there's two set screws in it. There's one here at the end and then one about a quarter or so ways up. So now what I need to figure out is how to get, without tearing everything apart, because this seems, that's all part of the handle. I got to get this tube. I suppose it shouldn't be that hard. I can stuff it up in here and then pull it back down with a needle nose. That tube's got to go on that little dooflingus down in there. So we're going to figure out how to do this. I probably could make it easier. Get some hot water and then soak this end in it to get it more pliable, and then just shove it on there maybe. Guide it on there and shove her in there. Or it might just go on. But it looks like we're gonna need some warmth on this. Is a small damn tube. I don't think this is the right one that the guy gave me. That ain't going on there. If that's going on there, I'm Tom Cruise. But we can try it. I'm gonna go get some hot water and microwave, soak this sucker in there to get her nice and hot, and try slipping it on there. I'll be back. Well, I'm back. But while this saw was sitting here on its side, I got a big pool of gas on my workbench here. So we got other issues, and it's not, I can't see it coming out of this vent here. So the vent wasn't helping, but I think we got some bigger issues I got to dig into here. I know there's a fuel line that goes through the plastic tank that's suspect too, and me peeking in there, it looks like that might be the case. It's pretty shall we say moist around there, and she's leaking pretty good, and I don't see it coming out of the carb up here. And it leaked pretty good only when it was full. It stopped leaking once I used some gas. So we're gonna have to revamp this, and well, here's my hot water, but I'm gonna have to take this thing apart anyway, so we can put this on while I got it apart. So now I got to figure out how to get all this crap apart. And I'm going to drain all the gas so we don't have a fire hazard here. Empty that boy out. No more leaky for now. Do this in a well ventilated areas. Purple gas. It's got some liquid in it, water in it now, but it'll be okay. Gas cleaned up here. I'm gonna clean my bench off a little bit here. So we're going to need a little bit more than this vent tube. The vent tube is missing. That wasn't helping, but we got other issues. I don't think that sucker should be leaking on its side, so we're going to blow some more here. So we're going to learn how to try to get this bad boy apart today. It's simple. It ain't that hard. I need a regular screwdriver first. It should be. We're going to use a big one. We're going to use the big Mamba Jamba. Oh, careful, because it fits. Get our air filter off. The air filter's got to come off. Carburetor's got to come off. We got to get to the try to block that off and blow it. There's your air filters off. I know everybody's gonna freak out. Blow some sawdust down in the hole. 8mm, I believe. Nuts, don't lose them. Apparently it's throttle, you squeeze it, comes forward and it pops out right here. Kind of focus, pops up out of there. So you gotta carefully get it out of there because this is plastic. Oh, a little more carefuler than that because you don't want to break some of this plastic stuff. So out of the handle, give her a 90-degree to your left, and out she comes. And what else we got here? Kill switch is in there. These rubber baby bunkers for the, I don't know why they gotta have them on there, but they got them on there. Should come out. Daubers. The mud daubers got them plumb full, or that or sawdust. That's mud daubers. Good old Indiana mud daubers. We'll be able to clean that out. Them damn mud daubers getting everything. That's for your carb adjustments. Now our carburetor should come off. It's pressed on the fuel line here, and then there's the charge line on this side for the whatchamajiggies to pressurize it. For the, what are we stuck on here? We're stuck on the fuel line down here. I think that's where we're leaking, is that fuel line. And of course I don't have small, so we gotta hold the fuel line, pull on your carburetor. And get it off that hose. And there's your carburetors off. We'll give her another blow job. Try not to blow the stuff inside the carburetor. Wrap her in a nice clean towel and set her off to the side for now. So here's the rubber hose that I think is the culprit here. Get you in there with your So focus. I think this is the rubber hose that goes down in the fuel tank. I think it might be compromised or leaking there down out of here. So we gotta now I gotta figure out how to get all this crap out of the way. Or can I leave it on there? I think I can leave it on there. I just gotta pull that dooflingus out of there. But there's a fuel filter connected on the other end of that black rubber hose that goes inside the fuel tank. We need to remove that. So we'll do that. Up on the side we go. Get your needle nose and fish around in there. If you got, oh, my needle nose ain't long enough. That's the story of my life. My needle nose ain't long enough. What else we got? Let me fish around in there with. I got nothing that's a deep tank. I fish around in there with this. And get this bugger out of the way. Maybe. This thing in the way here. How does this thing work? It just springs together. I can see you in there, but I can't reach you. I got you, you little bugger. There's a fish in there. Here we'll reach around. I gotta try to find this shitty tube. It's probably 20 bucks. It's got the filter attached to it. I think we gotta pull the filter off. Filter off. Pick up filter. And I believe that just should come out the top with some persuasions. Can I get this kill switch out of the way, or should I just leave it? I'll just leave it. Grab on this end. I need a longer needle nose. I think I'll get that when I go to the hardware store. So, I don't know. Looks alright. Doesn't look, it might be cracked here. Or it was just leaking where it went through. Because if it still leaks after this, that means the tank's cracked. So this side was up. And I think it's got to go in a special way. Dooflingus has got to be sideways like that. So I'm hoping this is my culprit. I could pressurize it and see, put a little pressure to it and see where she blows. If she blows. And it holds air. Might have just been leaking around the where it goes into the tank. Hopefully. Lost its sealing mealy. Looks like it's got a little shit on there. I don't know. It's not real major, the leak, but it's pain in the butt. I don't know what else be leaking other than because there's no overflow. We'll get a new one of these. I'll have to run to the water tucky. Maybe I'll take my kid and we'll get some lunch and make it a trip. I gotta go to Water Tucky and get a new dooflingus for my 039. I don't know where else it'd be leaking. On the pressure side, it shouldn't be coming out of there because that should be sealed unless the diaphragm's compromised, but then it would be I don't know. We're going to try a new one of these and see if it solves my leaky problem. I already spent $10 on this freaking thing. And I'm still going to need to put this on there. So let's do that quick. I don't want to pull all this crap off anyways. So we'll soak her in some hot water here. Soak her in cider. Yeah, there'll be a little bit of water in there. That'll be alright. Let that soak for a minute or two. And try to finagle around there. Oh, that's... It fits. It goes on there. Try not to rip it. What is going on there? A little bit of warmth helped her out a little bit. Get on there, you biggie. There we go. Get her up in there. So there's the vent tube if you want to do the vent, just the vent tube. Soak her in some hot water. Get a little needle nose, work her on there and shove her down, kind of work it like that. You know how it goes. Got to grab her up here and push down, grab her up here, push down. You don't want to break that plastic off because this is all plastic and you don't want to puncture the hose, so be careful with that. But anyways, off to lunch. Or is it lunchtime? Yeah, it's lunchtime. Me and the kid are going to go to lunch. We'll go to Watertucky. I'll get a new one of these. I'll see you when I get back. Alright? So here we are back at it again. As you can see from my frustration, I poked a hole in my new hose. And so I made a call to, this was from Watertucky hardware store after I went lunch. I came home, poked a hole in that one, and had to call the other hardware store, and they luckily had one. But now I got $33 in just these hoses. I could have leaked a lot of gas for that. I could have leaked 6 gallons of 2-stroke, well, a little less. Winston, shut up. Anyways, I could have leaked a lot of gas to cover the cost of this freaking hose. This silly straw design made in Sweden or Bavaria or wherever they're from. But I practiced with this one, the one that I already poked a hole in. I went to a bigger Torx bit so it got more surface area in case I do push too hard. And then I found this little trim tool, or these, not trim tool, these are them little push pin tabs. Kind of fits right around there on top. So I can finagle under here and push down and press on it while I seat it with this other Torx screwdriver, because I don't have anything to come through the top. Let's not get the one mixed up here. So I was gonna put gray RTV on the original, or gray, screw it. Well, if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it right here. My bad, I messed up and ruined it. So I'm gonna put a little dish soap on this one. Hopefully that'll help get her in there a little better. Hopefully it won't make it run funny. It'll only run funny for a little while. Pay attention, there's a flat spot on this there, and then there's a flat seam on the fuel tank. You want the flat spot up against that flange, I guess. But you can spin it around after you're in there. Seems to go best like this. Get it started. Poke that bottom donker through. You can. Work the rest of it in there with the fingers. Being in my keister. Put them ribs on there. The bend. Get in there, you. bigger Torx, make sure you're good on the flange, the rubber flange, and kind of push down on the top and hold it there. And I come in on top of the tank, under the handle, on top of the hose here. Kind of get on top, press down, and kind of get it to pop in there. Hopefully, I practiced with the old one. I'd be really upset if I put another hole in this one. It's kind of a pain in the keister getting her on there. Just kind of work her around. This one corner is usually the pain in the butt part. Push her down. And I think we're in. We're in like Flynn. So we're down in there. I don't know if you can see. You can't see that. You get the picture. It's flat on top of the tank and you look in there. I know. I don't know. I'll get in there. We'll take you out and show you. You can see. Oh, make sure you don't have your carpet flying all over the place, getting full of stuff like I do. Okay. Button this stuff up so I don't spill soap all over the place. So now we're in there. We got her in there. This has got to go like that. Dooflingus gets kind of pushed up in there. Now the fun part, we need to get the fish the other end out and get the filter on. So hopefully it should be a little easier now that it's in. Get in there with my pick. Pull it towards me. See if I can get it. Had it. Pick around it. Try not to poke a hole in it. Your pick. Wish I could see. Now I got my end of my hose out of there. Now we can put our fuel filter back on. Hopefully it slides right on there. We'll let her go back down in the La La Land. I don't know if it matters where it sets. It'll eventually find its home. Down in that corner. So there's that. I got it in. I didn't poke a hole in this one. Otherwise you'll have to spend twice as much on the hose. We can put our fuel cap back in. Just kind of spread it in there. Now we can put our carburetor back on. It's been rolling around up here. Getting dirt all up in it. Right in there. Just pushes right in there. Make sure you're in the other one. Might have to give them a squeeze and a little pull with the needle nose. But we're seated good there. Now, our little mud dauber nest contraption here. This one's nice because you can, $3.90, you gotta kind of finagle it in there. Seated in there? I think so. Filter on. Don't forget how she goes. Like that. Oh, don't forget your throttle linkage. It has to be like this. It has to be. You can only go on one way here. Just squeeze your handle out. And you gotta push her down in here until it snaps. Probably use this regular screwdriver. Snaps in there. That'll work. And we can put the air filter on. Actually, no. Gotta put their 8mm nuts on. Pull the carburetor on. Carburetor, as Daryl says. Pterodactyl. Whatever his name is, he's funny. Put them on. Maiden's feeding. So there's that. 8mm are on. Air filter back on. Like so. I don't have a flange like the other guy's got. And then remember, put the summer breather apparatus in here instead of the winter block. Oh, it goes the other way. It goes this way. And it goes this way. And there you have it. A new breather. A new hose. Take a little while to... Ow! No more leaks. Well, that's good. It only cost me $32 plus the $10 for that other little hose with some set screws in it. So I got $42 to stop a leak.